guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Glenda Chavez and I love to make new videos and share them with you guys of all things DIY, including furniture flipping. If you don't already know, I am actually on a journey to furniture flip to help fund all of my home renovations. So if you're interested or like that kind of content, I will leave a link down in the description for you guys so that you can go ahead and watch that. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about this week's furniture flip. So I'm super honored about this week's furniture flip because I was reached out by somebody to see if I could refinish an antique record player for them. Now their intentions are to repurpose it for a coffee bar, but of course I said yes, without a doubt. And there's quite a bit of damage as you can see, and I definitely need to make quite a bit of repairs. So let's go ahead and begin. If you've been here before, you know I use a variety of cleaners to clean my furniture. Today I happened to reach for Simple Green because it was just enough to use what was left of the bottle. To fill in any deep dents, scratches, and holes, I used regular color-changing wood filler. Alright, so first things first, we have to address this situation going on because obviously like this pretty much broke and I'm gonna have to wood glue it all back together. And then there's a piece of one of those back legs where this fell off, so I'm gonna have to glue that back together. So let's go ahead and do that and then we can move on. While I waited on the wood glue to dry on the repairs of the base, I went ahead and sanded down all of my wood filler and scuff sanded the rest. For the areas that are hard to reach, I just folded over a sanding disc. I chose to sand by hand because of the rounded off edges of the wood. I didn't want to risk flattening them out with a sander. I used sanding foam pads that help to take shape of whatever you are sanding. Two of the main doors were already off when I received the piece, and I had to glue back together the veneer. As for the other doors, ideally I would have loved to remove them, but I was not successful at doing so. There was an area at the base where the veneer was lifting. Because I didn't want to wait for wood glue to dry, I went ahead and used STARBOND CA glue in medium clear, followed by the activator. There was no waiting time necessary, and I could go ahead and wood fill where there was veneer missing. Even though I blow most of the dust off, I do like still to go back and wipe it down with a cloth. After taping everything off, it was time to prime. I'm using shellac-based primer to avoid bleed-through issues, and I make sure to sand between coats. I used Melange paints in a Traveler Blue. Although a beautiful blue, I was a bit disappointed it didn't match the swatch online like I was hoping it would. I used a total of 3 coats of color and made sure to sand it in between. I decided to stain the wood a rich dark walnut color. For my top coat, I used the 3 times thick polyurethane in satin. This was my 3rd time using it, and I finally made the decision to not repurchase it. It's way too thick for my sprayer, and I feel like it's not worth the extra dollars if I have to thin it out to the original formula's consistency. After both coats were applied and dry, I went ahead and applied contact paper on the inside of the cabinet where I assume my client will be keeping her cups, mugs, and such. After trying to put the 2 doors that were off, I realized why they were probably not on. The screw holes were completely stripped and had no grip. If you ever have this issue, you can use this trick. I cut small pieces from wood skewers and put them inside the holes with glue and let them dry until the following day. This works out great and is no longer an issue. Now that we're done, let's remember what this piece used to look like and what it looks like now. So usually at this point in time, we talk about numbers if it's not a commission piece. This is a commission piece, so I'm not gonna go over how much I'm actually charging, but I will disclose how I charge for it. So usually I would charge for materials, anything ranging from filters, sanding discs, tape, primer, or stain or top coat, anything like that. In addition to that, I also charge for paint. Now paint I charge completely separate because sometimes I don't use what's in my stockpile. If I do, then I charge a percentage of whatever paint I'm using. If I order a separate paint, I usually order something small enough that I'm going to be using just for that specific commission piece, and then give them whatever is left over and charge them for the full amount of that paint without inflation. In addition to that, I also charge a labor fee, which is usually an hourly wage. Now, that can vary from person to person depending on how advanced you are, so just keep that in mind. I hope you find that information helpful if you've been thinking about trying to refinish pieces, but it's holding you back because you don't know how to charge. I usually use the same principle when I am doing a piece that is not a commission piece. I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I do have some exciting news coming soon, so be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget, be kind. Bye.